Today, we're diving into an incredibly important topic for any team leader or member: understanding team diversity and its impact on performance. So let's get started. First off, what do we mean by diversity in teams? Well, it's not just about having different races, genders, ages, or backgrounds sitting around the table. It goes deeper than that. We're talking about a variety of perspectives, experiences, skills, and ways of thinking brought together to solve problems and achieve goals. Now, why does this matter? Because diverse teams can actually outperform homogeneous ones. Let me share a quick example. Imagine you have a high-ticket project deadline looming, but your team's only been looking at it from one angle. Suddenly, someone with a fresh perspective offers a new approach that could save weeks of work and thousands of dollars. That's the magic of diversity in action. But let's not forget about the challenges too. Diverse teams can sometimes face friction due to differences in communication styles or cultural norms. It might take some extra effort to ensure everyone feels heard and valued, but trust me when I say it's worth it. The richness of ideas that emerges from navigating these differences is unparalleled. So how do we harness this power? Start by fostering an inclusive environment where every voice matters and every contribution is appreciated. Encourage open dialogue and active listening so no one feels left out or misunderstood. And don't shy away from embracing conflict as a natural part of diverse teamwork. It's often the catalyst for innovation and growth. In conclusion, team diversity isn't just about ticking boxes. It's about enriching your team with varied perspectives that can enhance creativity and problem-solving abilities. By valuing and leveraging these differences, you'll see improved performance and stronger relationships within your team. Today, we're diving into why communication is so important in teams. Think about it this way: communication is like the lifeblood of any team. Just as blood carries oxygen and nutrients to every part of your body, effective communication ensures that ideas, information, and energy flow smoothly within a group. Let's start by looking at what happens when communication breaks down. Imagine you're on a project team working towards launching a high-ticket product. If the lines of communication are blurred or non-existent, everyone might be pulling in different directions without knowing it. This can lead to confusion, duplicated efforts, and even missed deadlines. It's like trying to assemble a puzzle with missing pieces. On the flip side, when teams communicate well, they're better equipped to solve problems together and come up with innovative solutions. Picture this: during a brainstorming session, team members share their ideas openly. This not only leads to creative thinking, but also fosters a sense of unity and collaboration. When everyone feels heard and valued, the team's overall performance improves. Moreover, clear communication helps build trust among teammates. It shows that each member respects others' opinions and is committed to working together towards common goals. This trust is crucial for building long-term relationships within teams, which in turn makes it easier to tackle future challenges as a cohesive unit. To make sure communication is effective, there are some key practices we can follow. For starters, regular check-ins help ensure everyone stays informed about progress and changes. Setting clear expectations upfront also minimizes misunderstandings down the line. And don't forget about listening. Really paying attention to what others have to say can go a long way in fostering understanding and cooperation. In conclusion, communication is essential for any team's success. It keeps everyone aligned and working towards shared goals while building trust and encouraging collaboration. So next time you're part of a team project, remember, your words are powerful tools that can help or hinder progress. Today, we're diving into something really crucial for achieving success in any project you undertake: establishing clear goals and objectives. Imagine setting out on a road trip without knowing where you're going or what stops along the way are necessary. It would be pretty chaotic, wouldn't it? That's why having clear goals is like having a roadmap that guides you towards your destination. To start off, let's understand what we mean by goals and objectives. Goals are broad outcomes that you want to achieve, while objectives break down these goals into specific, measurable steps. For instance, if your goal is to improve your fitness level, an objective might be to exercise 3 times a week for at least 30 minutes each session. Now, here's where the magic happens: setting SMART goals. That stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Let's break it down a bit more. Specific means you know exactly what you want to achieve. Vague goals like "I want to be healthy" aren't as effective as something like "I want to run 3 miles without stopping." Measurable allows you to track your progress. If you can measure it, you can see how close or far away from achieving your goal you are. Achievable is important because if a goal seems impossible, you might give up before even trying. Make sure your goals are realistic given your current situation and resources. Relevant means the goal aligns with what you want to achieve overall. It's not just about the immediate win, but part of a bigger picture. Time-bound gives you a deadline or timeline to work towards. This creates urgency and helps keep you motivated. So how do we apply this in real-life scenarios? Let's take an example from business. If your company goal is to increase sales by 20%, a SMART objective might be increase monthly sales revenue by 5% each month over the next 4 months. Remember, setting these goals isn't just about ticking boxes. It's also about revisiting them regularly and adjusting as needed. Life changes, circumstances change, so don't hesitate to tweak your objectives if necessary. To wrap up, having clear goals and objectives is like laying down the foundation for any successful endeavor. It gives you direction, helps you measure progress, and keeps you motivated along the way. So take some time today to think about what you want to achieve and how you're going to get there. Let's dive right into creating that collaborative environment you've been dreaming of. First off, let's talk about why it's important to have everyone on board working together seamlessly. When we create an atmosphere where people feel comfortable sharing their ideas and collaborating effectively, productivity soars and innovation flourishes. To start building this kind of environment, the first step is setting up clear goals that everyone understands and buys into. Once those objectives are crystal clear, it's all about fostering open communication. Encourage team members to share their thoughts openly without fear of judgment. This openness helps in identifying potential roadblocks early on and finding solutions collaboratively. Next up, make sure you're creating opportunities for teamwork. Whether it's through regular meetings or informal get-togethers, these gatherings are perfect for nurturing relationships and boosting creativity. Remember to mix up the groupings so that people from different departments or skill sets can interact. This diversity of thought is what drives innovation. Another key aspect is recognizing contributions and giving credit where it's due. When team members see their efforts being acknowledged, they are more likely to stay motivated and engaged. It's also important to provide constructive feedback and celebrate successes together, reinforcing a positive collaborative culture. Now, let's talk about tools that can help streamline collaboration. There are plenty of digital platforms available these days like Slack, Trello, or Asana, which offer features such as shared workspaces, project boards, and real-time updates. These tools make it easy for team members to stay connected and on the same page no matter where they are physically located. Finally, don't forget about building trust within your teams. Trust is a cornerstone of any successful collaboration. Encourage transparency and honesty among colleagues. When people trust each other, they're more willing to take risks and engage in open dialogue, which leads to better outcomes overall. So there you have it. By setting clear goals, fostering open communication, creating opportunities for teamwork, recognizing contributions, using the right tools, and building trust, you'll create a collaborative environment that drives success. Today, we're diving into 2 distinct styles of leadership that can shape how teams operate: authoritative and democratic leadership. Let's first talk about authoritative leadership. It's all about having strong direction and making decisions with confidence. Leaders who adopt this style are usually very knowledgeable in their field and expect quick compliance from their team members. They set the goals, make tough calls, and provide clear guidance to get things done efficiently. On the flip side, we have democratic leadership. This approach is more about collaboration and inclusivity. The leader acts as a facilitator rather than a dictator, encouraging input and ideas from everyone on the team. Decisions are made through consensus or majority vote, which fosters a sense of ownership among team members. It's all about teamwork and leveraging diverse perspectives to reach better outcomes. Now let's compare these two styles. Authoritative leadership can be highly effective in situations where quick decisions need to be made or when dealing with high-stakes projects. However, it might stifle creativity if the leader doesn't foster an environment of open communication. Democratic leadership, while more inclusive and engaging for team members, can sometimes lead to slower decision-making processes due to the need for broader consensus. Both styles have their pros and cons, but they also serve different purposes depending on the context. For instance, a startup might thrive under an authoritative leader who makes decisive calls early on, whereas a creative agency could benefit from democratic leadership to harness its team's creativity and innovation. In summary, understanding these two leadership styles can help us choose the right approach for our teams or organizations based on their unique needs and circumstances. Whether it's making fast decisions or fostering collaborative teamwork, knowing how to apply authoritative and democratic leadership effectively can lead to success in various settings. Today, we're diving into the world of leadership styles, focusing on Laissez-Faire leadership. This is a style where leaders take more of a hands-off approach, giving their team members plenty of autonomy to make decisions and lead projects on their own. Now, you might think this sounds like it could be a recipe for chaos, but let's explore how it can actually work wonders in certain situations. In a laissez-faire leadership environment, the leader's role is more about providing support when needed rather than micromanaging every detail. For instance, if we're talking about a creative team where innovation and flexibility are key, giving them the freedom to experiment without constant oversight could lead to some groundbreaking ideas. It's all about trusting your team members to know what they're doing and having faith in their abilities. Let's take a look at how this style works in practice. Imagine you're managing a high-ticket project that requires lots of expertise from different areas. With laissez-faire leadership, instead of dictating every step, you might set the overall goals and then let your team figure out the best way to achieve them. They're given the space to explore new methods and technologies without feeling constrained by rigid direction. Now, while this style can be incredibly empowering for employees, it's not always a perfect fit. It requires that team members are highly motivated and capable of working independently. Otherwise, you might end up with a lack of direction or accountability issues. So, when implementing laissez-faire leadership, it's important to assess the strengths and weaknesses of your team. To make this style effective, leaders need to be available for consultation and provide guidance when necessary. It's about creating an environment where everyone feels supported while also being given the freedom to thrive creatively. Regular check-ins can help ensure that projects stay on track without stifling innovation. In conclusion, laissez-faire leadership is all about fostering independence and creativity within your team. By giving them space to grow and make decisions, you empower them to take ownership of their work and deliver exceptional results. It's definitely a style worth considering if you're looking for ways to boost productivity and innovation in your organization. So today, we're diving into something really important: consensus-building strategies. Now, you might be wondering why this is so crucial. Well, in any group setting, whether it's at work, school, or even just hanging out with friends, reaching a consensus means everyone buys into the decision and moves forward together. That's powerful stuff. Let's start by understanding what consensus actually means. It isn't about making sure everyone agrees perfectly. Instead, it's more about finding common ground where all voices are heard and considered. This leads to stronger outcomes because people feel invested in the result. Now, let's talk about strategies for building that consensus. The first one is active listening. When you're really paying attention to what others are saying, not just waiting your turn to speak, you create a space for everyone to be heard. It's all about showing respect and valuing each person's input. Another key strategy is proposing options rather than solutions. Instead of saying, "Let's do this," try suggesting, "What if we tried this?" This opens up the discussion and invites others to contribute their ideas too. It shifts the focus from arguing about what to do to exploring possibilities together. Next, make sure you're using clear language and being specific when proposing options or solutions. Avoid vague statements like "let's work harder," which doesn't give a clear direction. Instead, say something like, "Let's implement these specific steps." This helps everyone understand exactly what needs to be done. Now, let's not forget about summarizing the discussion periodically throughout the meeting. It keeps everyone on track and ensures no important points are missed. For example, you might say, "So far we've heard concerns about cost and timing. Let's see if anyone has thoughts on how to address those." Another great way to build consensus is by encouraging participation from quieter members of the group. Sometimes people need a little nudge to share their thoughts. You could directly ask for input or create an environment where everyone feels comfortable speaking up. Finally, always be open-minded and willing to compromise. Remember that reaching a consensus doesn't mean you get your way every time. It's about finding solutions that work for the group as a whole. So there you have it, some key strategies for building consensus in any setting. By using these techniques, you'll create an environment where everyone feels valued and heard, leading to better decisions and stronger teamwork. That wraps up our discussion today on consensus building strategies. Thanks for joining me. Today, we're diving into how to make group brainstorming sessions really shine. Let's face it, getting multiple minds thinking together can lead to some pretty amazing ideas, but doing it effectively isn't always straightforward. So let's break down the key steps and tips to ensure your next brainstorming session is a hit. First things first, set clear goals for what you want to achieve from your brainstorming session. Whether you're tackling a high-ticket project or just looking for fresh insights, knowing your end goal will guide everyone's thinking and keep the discussion focused. Next up, choose the right participants. Invite people with diverse backgrounds and expertise because varied perspectives often lead to better outcomes. Plus, having different voices in the room can spark new ideas that none of you might have thought about individually. Now, once you've got your team together, create a welcoming environment where everyone feels comfortable sharing their thoughts without fear of judgment. Encourage open dialogue by starting with some warm-up questions or icebreakers to loosen up those creative muscles. As the session progresses, remember to keep things flowing smoothly. Use techniques like round-robin sharing to ensure every voice is heard and avoid any one person dominating the conversation. If you notice a lull in ideas, don't hesitate to throw out some prompts or playful challenges to get those wheels turning again. Another key tip is to document all the ideas as they come up, whether through whiteboards, sticky notes, or digital tools. This visual record helps everyone stay on track and see how their contributions fit into the bigger picture. Plus, it makes it easy to review later when you're ready to prioritize and act on those ideas. Lastly, don't forget about follow-up. After your brainstorming session wraps up, take some time to reflect on what was discussed and decide which ideas are worth pursuing further. Assign responsibilities for next steps and keep everyone in the loop so that all the effort put into generating ideas doesn't go to waste. So there you have it. By setting clear goals, inviting diverse participants, creating an inclusive atmosphere, keeping things flowing with smooth transitions, documenting every idea, and following up effectively, your group brainstorming sessions are sure to be productive and engaging. Today, we're diving into team dynamics by exploring how to identify and address conflicts within your group. Understanding that conflict is inevitable can actually be seen as a positive step towards better teamwork. When handled correctly, it can lead to stronger relationships and improved performance. Let's start with identifying the signs of conflict. Often these are subtle at first but grow over time if not addressed. Look for things like increased tension during meetings or emails where there's an underlying tone that feels off. Another sign could be team members avoiding each other or working in silos instead of collaborating as a group. Now, once you've identified a potential conflict, it's important to address it head-on without delay. Start by talking individually with the involved parties and then bring them together if necessary. Approach these conversations with empathy and an open mind. Remember, everyone has different perspectives and experiences that might have led to this situation. When having those tough discussions, use active listening skills to fully understand each person's point of view. Ask clarifying questions and summarize what you've heard to ensure accuracy. It's also crucial to focus on behaviors rather than personal attacks. For example, instead of saying you're always late, rephrase it as "I notice that our meetings have started late a few times recently." Next, work with the team to find a solution together. Encourage them to brainstorm ideas and then collectively choose the best approach forward. This collaborative problem-solving can not only resolve the immediate issue, but also build trust among team members. Lastly, make sure you follow up after addressing the conflict. Check back in with everyone involved to see how things are progressing and if additional support is needed. It's important to maintain open communication channels so that any emerging issues can be tackled early on. In summary, identifying conflicts early and addressing them effectively is key to maintaining a healthy team dynamic. By listening empathetically, focusing on behaviors rather than personalities, and working together towards solutions, your team will become stronger and more resilient. Today, we're diving into mediation techniques for resolving disputes, which is something that happens in every part of our lives, from work to home and even within communities. So let's start by understanding what exactly mediation means. Mediation is a process where a neutral third party helps two or more disputing parties reach an agreement through discussion and negotiation. Now, there are several key techniques you can use as a mediator to help settle disputes effectively. First up, active listening. This isn't just about hearing someone speak. It's about fully understanding their perspective by paying close attention to what they're saying and how they feel about the issue at hand. When you practice active listening, you show respect for each party's viewpoint and build trust. Next comes facilitating communication. As a mediator, your job is to ensure both sides have equal opportunities to express themselves without interruption. You can do this by asking open-ended questions that encourage sharing of thoughts and feelings. For example, instead of saying "Did you feel the project was handled correctly?" ask something like "How did you perceive the handling of the project?" This gives them a chance to elaborate on their emotions and perceptions. Another important technique is helping disputants find common ground. Often, disputes can escalate because people focus only on differences and forget about shared interests or goals. By guiding both parties towards identifying these commonalities, you create a foundation for compromise and agreement. For instance, if two colleagues are arguing over the division of tasks, you might ask what aspects of their work they enjoy most and see how those align with the project's needs. Mediators also need to know when to use summarizing techniques. Summarizing helps clarify misunderstandings and ensures everyone is on the same page. It's like putting a pin in every discussion point so nothing gets lost along the way. For example, you could say to summarize what we've discussed so far, both of you are concerned about meeting deadlines, but have different ideas about how to achieve that. Finally, helping disputants brainstorm solutions is crucial for reaching an agreement. Encourage creativity by suggesting various options or asking open-ended questions like what other ways might help us meet our goals. This collaborative approach fosters a sense of ownership in the solution and increases the likelihood of success. In conclusion, mastering these mediation techniques can significantly enhance your ability to resolve disputes effectively. By listening actively, facilitating communication, finding common ground, summarizing discussions, and brainstorming solutions together, you'll be better equipped to navigate even the toughest conflicts with ease. Today, we're going to dive into understanding what motivates employees at work. It's fascinating how different factors can drive people to perform better or stay engaged longer. Let's start by talking about some common motivators that many employees find rewarding. First up is recognition and praise. When someone does a great job, acknowledging their efforts makes them feel valued and appreciated. This boosts morale and encourages others to work harder too. Another big motivator is career development opportunities. Employees want to know there's room for growth within the company. Offering training programs or mentorship can really help with this. Compensation also plays a huge role in motivation, especially for high-ticket roles or those who earn significantly more than minimum wage. Competitive salaries and bonuses show that an employee's hard work is financially rewarded. Flexible working conditions are becoming increasingly important too. Options like remote work, flexible hours, or compressed work weeks can make a big difference for many employees. It shows trust in their ability to manage their workload effectively. Lastly, let's talk about company culture. A positive environment where colleagues respect and support each other creates a sense of belonging and teamwork. This boosts overall job satisfaction and makes people want to stay with the organization longer. In conclusion, understanding these motivators can help employers create a happier, more productive workforce. By recognizing what drives employees individually and addressing those needs, companies can foster loyalty and commitment among their teams. All right, let's dive into how we can create effective incentive programs that really drive performance in our teams. First off, it's important to understand what incentives are all about. They are not just bonuses or rewards handed out at the end of the year. They're tools designed to motivate and engage your team members towards achieving specific goals. To start building an impactful program, you need to clearly define what those goals are. What do we want our teams to achieve? Are we looking for high-ticket sales numbers or increased customer satisfaction ratings? Once these goals are set, the next step is to tailor incentives that directly align with them. For instance, if we're focusing on boosting productivity in a certain department, perhaps offering recognition awards or additional vacation days could be effective motivators. Another key aspect of successful incentive programs is making sure they are fair and transparent. Team members should know exactly how their performance impacts the rewards they receive. This transparency builds trust and encourages everyone to contribute equally towards team success. Speaking of teamwork, it's also crucial to think about group incentives alongside individual ones. When a whole team reaches a goal together, rewarding them all can foster a sense of unity and shared purpose that goes beyond just monetary gain. Now, let's talk about the nitty-gritty details, like setting timelines and regularly reviewing these incentive programs. It's important to establish clear start and end dates for your program so everyone knows what they're working towards within a specific time frame. Regular reviews help you adjust incentives as needed based on team performance or changing business needs. Lastly, always keep in mind that not every employee is motivated by the same things. Some might love public recognition, while others prefer more tangible rewards like gift cards or product discounts. Tailoring incentives to fit individual preferences can maximize their effectiveness and overall satisfaction among your team members. In summary, creating effective incentive programs involves setting clear goals, aligning rewards with those objectives, ensuring fairness and transparency, considering both individual and group achievements, establishing timelines for the program, and regularly reviewing its success. By following these steps, you'll be well on your way to motivating your teams towards achieving great results and fostering a positive work environment. Today, we're going to dive into the world of team leadership by exploring two distinct approaches, coaching and mentoring. Both play crucial roles in developing talent within teams, but do so through different lenses. Let's start off with coaching. Coaching is all about helping individuals improve their performance on a day-to-day basis, focusing on current tasks and immediate goals. It's like having a personal trainer for your team members, guiding them through the nitty-gritty of their work to get better results. Now, let's contrast that with mentoring. Mentoring goes beyond just addressing present challenges. It involves offering guidance on career development, long-term aspirations, and helping individuals navigate their professional journey over time. Think of a mentor as someone who has been there before and can provide valuable insights into the high-ticket items like networking, leadership skills, or industry trends. Both approaches are essential, but serve different purposes in building strong teams. Coaching is great for boosting short-term productivity and ensuring that everyone stays on track with their immediate goals. Mentoring, however, helps team members see a bigger picture and sets them up for long-term success within the organization. To illustrate how these work together effectively, imagine a scenario where Sarah, a junior developer, needs help debugging some code. Her coach might sit down with her to walk through each line of the code and find the issue quickly. Meanwhile, her mentor could discuss career goals with her during lunch, offering advice on which technologies or skills she should focus on learning next for future growth. So when managing your team, consider assigning both coaches and mentors to ensure comprehensive support and development. By doing so, you're not only enhancing short-term performance, but also fostering long-term success for each member of the team. In conclusion, coaching and mentoring are powerful tools that, when used together, can significantly boost individual growth and overall team effectiveness. So next time you're thinking about how to help your team members improve, remember these two approaches and tailor them to suit both immediate needs and future ambitions. Let's dive into developing future leaders within your startup. It's all about creating opportunities for growth and fostering an environment where leadership skills can flourish. Start by identifying potential leaders among your team members. Look for those who show initiative, have a knack for problem solving, or demonstrate strong communication skills. Once you've pinpointed these individuals, provide them with the right training and mentorship to help them grow. This could involve assigning challenging projects, offering feedback on their performance, and perhaps even sending them to leadership workshops or seminars. Next, encourage your emerging leaders to take ownership of certain aspects of the business. Maybe that means letting them run a project from start to finish, or giving them oversight over a specific department for a period of time. This hands-on experience is crucial in developing their decision-making skills and boosting their confidence. Remember, these are future leaders you're grooming, so let them fail sometimes too. It's part of the learning process. Another key aspect is fostering collaboration within your team. Encourage open communication and teamwork by creating spaces for brainstorming sessions or collaborative projects. This not only helps build relationships, but also teaches valuable skills in negotiation and conflict resolution. Additionally, celebrate successes as a group to reinforce positive behaviors and motivate everyone to strive for excellence together. Lastly, don't forget about feedback. Regularly check in with your aspiring leaders to discuss their progress, set goals, and address any challenges they might be facing. This ongoing dialogue helps keep them on track and shows that you're invested in their development. Remember, developing future leaders is an investment. It takes time, but the rewards are immense. In summary, identifying potential leaders, providing training and mentorship, encouraging ownership, fostering collaboration, and offering continuous feedback are all critical steps in growing leadership talent within your startup. Let's dive into virtual communication today, because it's become an essential part of our daily lives, whether we're working from home, attending online classes, or connecting with friends across distances. The key to making these interactions effective is understanding some best practices that can make all the difference. First off, let's talk about clear and concise messages. When you're communicating through text or video calls, it's important to be direct and straightforward. Avoid long-winded explanations. Instead, get straight to the point while still being polite and thorough. This helps keep everyone focused and engaged without losing interest. Next up is making sure your technology works well before diving into a call or chat session. Check that your microphone, camera, internet connection, and any required software are all functioning properly. It's also helpful to test these beforehand so there are no last-minute surprises that could disrupt the flow of communication. Another important aspect is setting expectations clearly at the start of each meeting or message exchange. Let people know what you're aiming for in terms of outcomes, timelines, and next steps. This helps everyone stay on track and ensures that goals are met efficiently without wasting time. Body language is also crucial, even though it's not as visible as in face-to-face interactions. Use gestures like nodding your head to show agreement during video calls or emoticons to convey emotions when texting. These small actions can help make your virtual conversations feel more natural and engaging. Remember, active listening is just as important online as it is offline. Give your full attention to the person speaking, avoid multitasking, and respond thoughtfully. This shows respect for their ideas and builds a stronger connection between participants. Lastly, don't forget about follow-up communication after meetings or conversations end. Summarize key points discussed and outline any action items or deadlines agreed upon. This helps keep everyone aligned and moving forward together effectively. So there you have it, some straightforward tips to help make your virtual interactions smoother and more productive. By applying these best practices, you'll find that virtual communication becomes not just easier, but also enjoyable and effective every time. Let's dive right into how we can overcome some of those common challenges when working remotely. One of the biggest hurdles is staying focused in an environment that isn't exactly designed for work. Maybe you're sharing space with family or roommates, and distractions are everywhere. So what do? Start by setting up a dedicated workspace. It doesn't have to be fancy, just somewhere where you can zone out and get into your work mindset. And don't forget about those daily rituals. They help set the tone for productivity. Another challenge is staying connected with colleagues. When we're not in the same physical space, it's easy to feel isolated or disconnected from team dynamics. To combat this, schedule regular check-ins and use video calls whenever possible. Face-to-face interaction, even if virtual, helps maintain those professional relationships. Plus, it's a great way to catch up on projects and share progress without feeling like you're sending too many emails. Time management can also be tricky when working remotely. It's easy to let the day get away from you or start juggling too many tasks at once. To avoid this, try using tools that help you track your time and prioritize your workload. Apps like Trello or Asana are great for visualizing projects and breaking them down into manageable chunks. Also, don't forget about setting boundaries with family members or roommates to ensure you have uninterrupted work hours. Lastly, maintaining a healthy work-life balance is crucial when working from home. It's all too easy to let your work spill over into personal time and vice versa. Set specific start and end times for your workday and stick to them. At the end of each day, make sure to log off and disconnect from emails and messages so you can fully unwind. In summary, by setting up a dedicated workspace, staying connected with colleagues through regular video calls, managing your time effectively with tools like Trello or Asana, and maintaining healthy boundaries between work and personal life, you'll be well on your way to overcoming the challenges of working remotely. Today, we're diving into the world of Agile project management, something that's becoming increasingly popular in today's fast-paced business environment. So let's start by asking ourselves why Agile has taken such a strong hold. It all comes down to flexibility and responsiveness, two key elements that help teams adapt quickly to changes and deliver value faster. Agile isn't just another buzzword. It's actually a mindset that encourages collaboration, ongoing improvement, and the ability to embrace change throughout the development process. This approach is particularly useful for high-ticket projects where requirements might evolve over time or when working with complex systems. To get more specific about what Agile entails, we can look at some of its core principles. For instance, Agile teams break their work into smaller chunks called sprints. Each sprint typically lasts from 1 to 4 weeks and results in a usable product increment that can be shown to stakeholders for feedback. This iterative process allows the team to refine their approach based on real-world input. Another important aspect is the daily stand-up meeting, or Scrum, where team members share progress updates and identify any blockers they might have encountered during the day. These short meetings help keep everyone aligned and focused on achieving the sprint goal. Now, let's talk about some of the key roles within an Agile team. The product owner represents stakeholders and prioritizes the backlog to ensure that the most valuable features are delivered first. Then, there's the Scrum Master, who facilitates the process and ensures the team adheres to best practices. Lastly, the development team consists of individuals with cross-functional skills who work together to deliver the increments. Agile also emphasizes the importance of collaboration beyond just the internal team members. Regular feedback loops with stakeholders are crucial for ensuring that what's being developed aligns with business needs. This open communication helps maintain focus on delivering value and can prevent costly rework later in the project lifecycle. So why should we care about all this? Well, Agile methodologies have proven to be incredibly effective at improving productivity, reducing waste, and accelerating time to market for products. Whether you're managing a small-scale project or something more complex, adopting an Agile mindset can help your team stay nimble and responsive in an ever-changing landscape. In conclusion, Agile project management is about embracing change, breaking down tasks into manageable pieces, and working collaboratively to deliver high-quality results quickly and efficiently. Today, we're diving into how you can apply Scrum techniques in your team to boost productivity and collaboration. Let's begin by understanding what Scrum is all about. It's an Agile framework for developing products where teams work together in short cycles called sprints to deliver high-value increments of a product or service. First up, let's talk about the roles within Scrum. There are 3 key roles: product owner, Scrum Master, and development team. The product owner is responsible for managing the product backlog and ensuring that it aligns with business goals. The Scrum Master acts as a facilitator to remove any impediments faced by the team and ensure everyone follows the Scrum process smoothly. Lastly, the development team comprises skilled members who work together to complete the tasks in each sprint. Now, let's look at some of the core artifacts in Scrum: the product backlog, sprint backlog, and increment. The product backlog is a prioritized list of requirements for your product, while the sprint backlog contains selected items from the product backlog that will be worked on during the upcoming sprint. Finally, an increment is the usable, potentially releasable product built by the development team during each sprint. So how do you implement Scrum in your team? Start by identifying a Scrum Master and getting everyone familiar with the roles and artifacts we just discussed. Next, create a product backlog and prioritize it based on business value and urgency. Then, kick off your first sprint planning meeting where the team selects items from the product backlog to work on for the upcoming sprint. During each sprint, hold daily stand-up meetings called daily scrums to discuss progress and any roadblocks. At the end of the sprint, conduct a review meeting to demonstrate what was completed and gather feedback. Finally, have a retrospective meeting where you reflect on how well the Scrum process worked and identify areas for improvement. Remember, Scrum is all about continuous improvement and adapting to changes quickly. Encourage open communication within your team and embrace the principles of transparency, inspection, and adaptation. By doing so, you'll be better equipped to tackle challenges and deliver high-quality work consistently. In conclusion, applying Scrum techniques can greatly enhance teamwork and productivity in any project setting. Whether you're managing a software development project or coordinating efforts on a marketing campaign, following these steps will help streamline your processes and lead to successful outcomes. Today, we're diving into how to implement feedback loops effectively in your projects or processes. Imagine you're building a high-ticket product, and you want to ensure it meets customer needs perfectly. Feedback loops are like checkpoints that help you make sure everything's on track. Let's start with understanding what these feedback loops are. Essentially, they're mechanisms for gathering information about how well your project is progressing and making adjustments based on that input. They are critical because they allow you to catch issues early and refine your processes continuously. To set up a feedback loop, first identify the key stages of your process where you can gather meaningful data. For example, if you're developing software, you might want feedback from users after each sprint or milestone. Once you know when to collect feedback, decide who's going to provide it. These could be stakeholders, team members, customers, or even external experts. Next, choose the right tools and methods for collecting this information. Surveys, interviews, focus groups, or direct observation are all valid options depending on your context. The goal is to get honest, actionable insights that will help improve your project. Once you have the feedback, it's crucial to analyze it properly so you can make informed decisions. Look for trends and patterns in the data. What's working well? What areas need improvement? Don't just focus on negative feedback. Positive comments are valuable too, as they highlight what aspects of your work are resonating with users. Now comes the implementation phase. Based on your analysis, decide which changes to make and communicate these decisions clearly to all relevant parties. Make sure everyone understands why you're making adjustments and how it will benefit the overall project outcome. Lastly, don't forget about continuous improvement. Set up regular intervals where you can revisit feedback loops, perhaps monthly or quarterly, depending on the pace of your work. This helps ensure that, as conditions change, so do your processes. In conclusion, implementing feedback loops is all about setting up an effective system to gather insights and make iterative improvements based on those insights. It's a powerful tool for ensuring your project stays aligned with its goals and meets user needs throughout its life cycle. So today, we're diving into how to foster a culture of learning in your organization. Imagine you've got this vibrant ecosystem where everyone's constantly seeking knowledge and sharing what they know with others. It sounds pretty amazing, doesn't it? Well, that's the kind of culture we want to build. First off, let's talk about why this is important. A culture of learning isn't just about attending workshops or seminars. It's about creating an environment where people are encouraged to ask questions, explore new ideas, and continuously improve their skills. This approach can lead to innovation, better problem solving, and ultimately, a competitive edge for your company. Now, how do we get there? Start by setting the right tone at the top. Leadership plays a crucial role here. When leaders model curiosity and openness to learning, it sets an example that trickles down throughout the organization. So encourage your managers and team leaders to embrace continuous improvement themselves. Next up, create opportunities for everyone to learn, not just formal training, but also informal ones like lunch and learn sessions or brown bag meetings, where people can share insights and experiences freely. Make sure these gatherings are accessible and inclusive so that no one feels left out. Another key aspect is recognizing and rewarding learning behaviors. This doesn't mean giving out trophies for every small achievement, but acknowledging efforts towards mastering new skills or gaining knowledge can boost morale and motivate others to follow suit. Also, don't forget about embracing failure as part of the learning process. We all know that making mistakes is a natural part of growing, so celebrate those who take risks and learn from them. This mindset shift helps build resilience within teams and promotes a growth-oriented culture. Finally, foster collaboration by encouraging cross-functional projects and team-building exercises. When people work together across different departments, they bring diverse perspectives to the table, which can spark creativity and innovation. So there you have it, some practical steps to encourage a culture of learning in your organization. Remember, creating such an environment is an ongoing journey that requires commitment from everyone involved. But isn't it worth it when you see employees thriving and achieving great things? That's all for now. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope these insights help you cultivate a vibrant community of learners within your team. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through effective team building and leadership strategies. Over the past weeks, we've covered a lot of ground together, exploring everything from understanding team dynamics and building strong foundations to mastering leadership styles and conflict resolution techniques. We delved into decision-making strategies like consensus building and brainstorming sessions, and learned how to motivate and engage your team effectively with incentive programs. We also discussed developing future leaders within your startup through coaching and mentoring, and tackled the unique challenges of managing remote teams. Additionally, we introduced Agile methodologies and Scrum as powerful tools for project management, and emphasized the importance of continuous improvement strategies like feedback loops and fostering a culture of learning. The key takeaways from this course are clear. Successful teamwork starts with diversity and open communication, supported by well-defined goals and an inclusive environment. Effective leadership can come in many forms, whether it's authoritative guidance, democratic collaboration, or laissez-faire freedom. Conflict resolution is crucial for team harmony, while motivation and engagement strategies keep your team excited about their work. And as we move into a more virtual world, adapting to remote management techniques and embracing agile methodologies will be vital. I hope you leave this course with practical skills that you can apply immediately in your leadership roles. Remember, the lessons here are not just theoretical. They're designed to help you build strong teams and achieve success through effective collaboration and strategic leadership. Wishing you all the best as you implement these strategies in your own teams. Whether it's leading a startup or managing a department within a larger organization, I believe that, with the knowledge gained from this course, you are better equipped than ever before to inspire and lead your team towards achieving their goals. Finally, if you feel inspired by what we've covered together, please consider connecting with me or leaving a review of the course. Your feedback is valuable for improving future iterations and helping other learners on their journey towards effective leadership.